All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, the honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. I'm the brother Shaman of Great Millstone, Chicago. Just hoping to edify, do a quick hit. And, in these videos, a lot of times you don't have to, the Spirit, of course, will guide you ultimately, but a lot of times you could just do, a quick burst of information, and that is just as helpful as trying to do, a whole 20-minute, 25-minute video, because a lot of times, those quick pieces of information, which Jake, might have to visit again. Boom, you help them, revisit them right there. And then, you might hear one and say, dang, I got to read that chapter over. I got to, reread that, review my notes, or, maybe I need to take notes. So, it's all through the Spirit on these daily videos, is that daily edification. All right. But, this particular daily edification, inspired by the apostles who were inspired by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is Winter Solstice 2020. The shortest day is long on ancient pagan traditions. And this is the time of year where they most worship, this is the holiday season, man, where they do all of the worship of these different, traditions. And this is where, the most demons come out, all right, because everybody's inside. The sun is at its shortest, which a lot of that stuff goes back to sun worship. And, but the Lord has it set up where, for us, you're still doing the work, man, doing the work. That's why the scriptures say, in season and out of season. All right, so we don't stop working just because, it gets cold, or just because, the sun ain't up, man. We ain't seasonal employees, man. We're year round. All right, the Lord has us on payroll around the year. All right, but getting to this article, it says, and that's what you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to still be out teaching, even in the cold. It says the solstice usually, but not always, takes place on December 21st. The time that the solstice occurs and the day itself shifts because of the solar year. The time it takes for the sun to reappear in the same spot as seen from Earth doesn't exactly match up to our calendar year. If you want to be super precise with your observations, the exact time of the 2020 winter solstice will be blah, blah, blah. And then it tells you, Jake was joking, supposed to get superpowers because certain planets were lining up and stuff. Well, where does it say that in the scriptures? It never tells you that. All right, the scriptures tell you, be not dismayed at the signs of in heaven. All right, because ultimately the Lord is in full control. Now, certain of those signs, they mean certain things. When the Lord was born, you had certain signs in the heavens. All right, different times in history, you had certain signs in heavens. Even tells you that in the days, that certain signs and wonders will come in the heavens. All right, so it is important, but, they'll take that and they'll come up with an exact meaning where the Lord never told you that in any writing. All right, that particular understanding to us of what means what, and this, we have some pieces, but we don't have the full puzzle. We don't have the full thing, and we'll get the full thing, in heaven. All of that stuff, the zodiac, or whatever. We'll get the full understanding of that in the kingdom. All right, but this just goes to show you, how these people guess so hard and have no idea, man. It says, I'm gonna jump right to the point. It's like it for rambling. As a matter of fact, let me bring the scriptures out first. Wisdom of Solomon 13 and start at verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High and could not out of the good things that are seen, know him that is, neither by considering the works that they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. All right, and all of these different celebrations and stuff, they go to these different gods. All right, they've created these different gods from seeing all of these different things and attributing to a god, to a whole nother force. All right, outside of the true force that made it. All right, and that's what these other nations do. They attribute, lightning in the heaven. You got some nations that say that's attributed to Zeus, or some nations that'll say, that's the gods fighting in heaven. All this different madness, which again the Lord never said. All right, it said, it said, with whose beauty. See, I don't think I read verse 2, but deemed either fire, wind, or the swift air, the circle of stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is, for the first author of beauty hath created them. Yeah, the first author of beauty, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right, so all of this other stuff, man, it just goes to show you people's lack of understanding, man, because Esau actually tells you right here what this stuff comes from. It doesn't go back to the beginning. It doesn't go back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, decorated evergreen trees have roots that go back beyond the beginnings of Christmas to ancient Egypt and Rome. Here we go again. People say that you guys talk about the same thing every year. Every year you talk about this. Well, every year you people go, you get a tree, or you go out, have family day, you cut down the tree, you put all these decorations up, and you don't understand what you're doing. You're bringing that idol in your house when it tells you don't have that tree with that silver and gold on it. All right, matter of fact, there's a song of it. Silver and gold. And people do that. All right, it says it's no surprise many cultures and religions celebrate a holiday, whether it be Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or pagan festivals that coincides with the return of longer days. So ultimately, like I said, man, people are worshiping the stars, they're worshiping the sun, because the sun, supposedly determines how long the day is or whatever. All right. And, meanwhile, we'll tell you, because it says it in the scriptures, the month is determined by the moon. The moon, determines, certain times are given to you by the moon. All right. Just like we just had a Sabbath. All right, there was just a new moon that day determines the Sabbath, and then, those days following until that moon changes, then that new moon becomes the new Sabbath. All right, but people are look at us crazy. That's crazy. It tells you it's written in the scriptures. What do you mean? That's how the Creator made it from the beginning. All right, because different years, the winter solstice is not on the same day. This year, the winter solstice is coming very late, which the what they call the winter solstice, that tells you if it's winter or not. And so here it is, the end of December. All right, and here's some of the pagan shit. Alban Arthon, a light of winter. The winter solstice is considered a time of death and rebirth. You're going to see the same thing in all this stuff. Saturnalia. Because in the wintertime in the ancient world, that's where if you were old or you were weak or something, that's when a lot of people usually would die. Certain climates during the wintertime. That was where in certain climates you couldn't plant, certain foods. Or you have to live off of, what you had stored up. All right, so they began to worship the lights, worship, things that helped them to receive those things, and they associated that with God, just like we just read. All right, But here's another scripture. This is Daniel 12:1. All right, because, the time for excuses is over, man. Matter of fact, Daniel 12:4, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And this is that time, man. This is that time at the end where knowledge shall be increased. Shit, knowledge increased, man. You can in this article they tell you the origins of all these different knowledge. This isn't like 50 years ago where this was kind of insider information, and people were just following after what they saw in a magazine or on TV or something. Right now, they're actually telling you exactly where these things came from in these different parts of the world. All right. It tells you that, man. The scriptures tell you about the moon. The Lord is making, His word more manifest every day, man. What does it say? Is it Deuteronomy? It said, my doctrine shall drop its rain. All right. With all these different strongholds that are getting cast down by the scriptures, man. And Esau's feeling it. That's why they're coming up with plots on how they can stop the word from coming out. All right, so Saturnalia in ancient Rome. Saturnalia began December 17th and lasted for 7 days. It honors Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture. So they're trying to use that, to pray that they get a good harvest going. All right, and Jake is all into that, man, because what would happen is Rome had a lot of slaves on Saturnalia. That's when, in many cases, because not everybody participated, but in many cases, the slaves would be equal to or over the master for a portion of time. All right, or the master would serve the slave food. The slaves would get to eat first, or they would make somebody, the king of Saturnalia, and everybody had to follow their orders for that couple of days. All right, so. And we know, who the slaves were primarily in the Roman Empire. It was us, Jake, or the sons of Jacob. All right, and you had other people too, but majority was Jake. And even to this day, Christmas time, that's when a lot of adulterous shit happens. All right, you gotta go to the Christmas party. You gotta put your sweater on. Gotta have your eggnog. All of this, happy, warm stuff, which again, the Lord never authorized it. All right, it says, and this is why the Lord is gonna put so much hell on these people, because He's made it known, He's made it clear. All right, what does it say? Write it plain upon tables. All right, and the Moabites doing the same thing. Was it Dongji? All right. They worship the same stuff. They have the same understanding. How come nobody has figured out that the moon is based on, which Esau figured it out, but he figured it out after studying us. All right, it says, Stonehenge. On winter solstice, visitors traditionally have an opportunity to enter a towering, mysterious stone circle for a sunrise ceremony run by local pagan and Druid groups. So Esau, he's telling on himself. This stuff isn't even hidden anymore, man. This stuff, it used to be, little hidden secrets of, why certain things were done, and traditions and ceremonies and rituals. Now Esau's just bringing that stuff straight to the forefront. All right, and showing that he's at the end. All right, and everything is being made manifest, man. That's why the scriptures say, uncover the leg, make bare the thigh. All parts of him are being made uncovered. All right. So that's just a quick hit on that, man. Hey, just like the scriptures say, man, the Lord created different seasons, right? He created different times, different realms. The scriptures gives you the full understanding on that. What time are we in? This is the end. There's no time for no Christmas or none of that stuff, man. So, hey, Lord willing, is edifying. It's just a quick hit on that. All right, it's just to show you, man, the Lord is not dealing with any of these other nations, man. Nowhere here do you see, These nations gave heed to the Most High for his creation of the earth. They didn't do it. And that's why they weren't chosen. That's why Israel was chosen, all right? That's why we're doing, what we're doing and worshiping the Lord. I believe Purim is coming up. All right, hey, all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom.